Show and balance, paradise, righteousness, all back in the lab, diligently working hard. So guest with me again, educator, mentor, activist, father, artist, Cuba in the building. What's happening, sibling?
What's good, fam? What's good, fam?
Chilling like a villain, man. We did the thing, man. Technical difficulties ain't gonna stop us.
That's
Thousands
a,
of miles ain't gonna stop this build, you know what I mean? So
that's a fact.
honest to have you in the for sure, for sure. Honest to have you in the lab, man, chopping it up, and trust we're gonna have an insightful and entertaining conversation today for the siblings and listeners. Them. Um, Before we even get into the meat and bones of this year, zombie apocalypse 2020. We're in the Gregorian year of 2021. How has that shit been treating you, sibling?
It's been good. Unfortunately, people that I know might have had, some suffering and stuff, but it's just another day on Earth.
Right.
Just another day on Earth.
Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you've been able to navigate through without too much issues, apart from the
It's about navigating this world, man. I mean, that's what we got to do.
for sure, for sure. So yeah, man. And good to hear, man. Good to hear. As you say, there's been later. Ultimately, it's all on you. Volume one, you know what I mean? It's down to you to make any decisions. As we know, everything in life is subject to change. Sometimes we might not like that change, but you know, as beings on this here plane of existence, we've got to try and adapt as much as possible. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Let's jump. Let's jump into these things. We born and raised.
Say again?
Where was we born and raised? What state?
Brooklyn, New York.
Right. Okay. All day. Try and paint a picture of what it was like for you growing up as a youngster. We're talking 80s or we're talking 90s?
80s.
Okay. Yes. Yes. So I've heard a lot about BK back there as well. So what's like from your eyes as a youngster growing up in this thing in this world?
It was a challenge, man. It's definitely a challenge. We were presented with difficulties every day in my family. I was fortunate enough to have both my parents at home. But nonetheless, it was a struggle, very challenging. From just trying to make sure my family trying to make sure we had enough. I tried to beg on the government. Dealing with the violence in New York. All the different crime and craziness going on in the community, and of course, the systematic issues. You know.
Yes, of course. Systemization of brothers and sisters and a whole heap of other people who are all up in that big ball of a mix. Was the criminality, quote unquote, and violence, was that very apparent when you were coming up, or when you went to certain places to expect certain shit to go down?
Yeah, that was pretty much America. Criminality is part of the fabric of America. As much as people don't want to believe it, but that's what the Europeans do. So
Sure, indeed. I mean, so growing up, well, both parents, what kind of thing were they dealing with on a religious kind of vibe, or like what kind of foundation were they setting you up in?
oh no, I was pretty much raised Catholic.
Okay,
My
so you
mom.
had your Holy Communion, confirmation,
Yep.
and all that there.
I don't know about confirmation. I think that's when you're older, right?
Yeah. So you
Yeah,
just leaving them. That's when you.
yeah, I stopped that. All that shit stopped that. Like once I started listening to Nas and rap, I was like, hold on, I'm a god, bro. I mean, I'm a god body. I don't believe in this old white man shit. This shit ain't making no sense. I got
Mm-hmm.
introduced to being a 5%er. I was like, hold on, man. Wu Tang. You ain't heard this Wu Tang album, mommy? Mm-mm.
36 Chambers.
Like, hold on, mommy. Nah. We the black man. We the original.
The black man is God.
My pops was, definitely um had an open, perspective in terms of religion and stuff like that. So he had a very diverse background, still oriented around the Bible and Judaic, stuff, but he was different, so that also contributed to me being kind of open to different stuff, but at the same time, like I'm an atheist, so you know whatever.
Is that a title that you hold today, or is that something you developed
Say
once you?
say again.
Was that a title that you hold today, or is that something you've held on to once you kind of came out of Catholicism?
No, that was more since like I was an adult, like from like 26. It's been for like I don't know. I've been an atheist. I don't know, maybe 15 years.
Okay. So okay then. Let's stay there then. So what age was you when you stumbled into the 5% nation and the NG? What kind of time we're talking? Early teens.
Oh, that was probably like 13, 14.
And did you enter and do the get the um, supreme knowledge and wisdom and understanding and all that there, or was you just peeping this from the musical standpoint?
Yeah, it was more like the music standpoint and what my pops was teaching me and stuff. Like, like in New York, like the 5% information kind of permeates in certain communities. So even if you're not like, you know, in the community, you still know of it. So I wasn't
Mm,
part of no school or anything like that. I'm not a name. I'm not no supreme Allah born or none of that stuff.
supreme. Yeah.
Like that stuff, nah. I love I'm a 5%er by definition, and that that's just by 85% of the people aren't doing the work. They're not just doing the work. They don't know to do the work because they're deaf, blind, and dumb. ten
Yes.
percent of the world doesn't have not has the knowledge, but they take advantage of people, and the remaining 5% is the one that's going to put in the work. And that's just mathematics.
Yeah. Sure indeed. Money. So did we stumble across any other knowledge, i.e., more science temple or Black Panther Party or anything like that? Did you make your transition as a youngster through any of that school of thought?
I mean, it's in New York. It's all around. So like Rastafarianism, like that's where I'm at in Brooklyn. It's heavy Rastas. So that was always Garveyites and Pan Africanism was definitely drilled into my head from the community. Just not like drilled it, but like you're around it. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Where where I'm at. Let's see. I consider myself a Black Panther. By definition. Um, when it comes to the revolution, you don't need to be initiated. It's not like you're gonna
Yes.
get jumped in. Or certain things like having knowledge of self. Nobody. You can. The idea of knowledge of self is literally the answer. Knowledge of self. So you have to have knowledge of self. You have to possess it. You have to acquire it. And once you acquire it, that's just what it is. It doesn't matter if you're initiated or part of somebody's organization. What really matters being part of somebody's organization, doing the work, or you know
Hmm.
having I don't know. That's what I care about, doing the work and understanding myself better to be a better person. So
That's key. That's really so much key. As I alluded to before, there's a whole heap of people that have got a real good talk game. Sounds hella good, know that there, and they can present a hella good argument. But like, what fruit do your trees bear? You know what I mean? Like, what can we see tangibly? What impacts and what you actually doing? Feet on the ground. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? And that, to me, that's one of the most important things. And don't get me wrong, those kind of people to a point have place, but when they're talking the thing like they're doing the thing, that's something different there. That's where you need to be, upright and honest and say, yeah, look, I'm trying to present solutions and I'm trying to give commentary or whatever it may be. But I ain't got the time, or I'm not out there doing it. At some point, I want to do it or something. You know what I mean? Let's bring back some of the honesty with this thing. You know what I mean?
Nah, I feel you, bro. That's what it got to be about. Honesty, put in the work. You know what I mean? But we got to make the people want that and stuff and make it something that they look for. So we got to, that's what I'm focused on, stepping on my game so I can make what I do easier um to understand and to take in. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So musically wise, let's get into the music thing. How long you been how long you been rapping, let's say, professionally, quote unquote?
Professionally, I don't even know. I don't even know. It's weird. I've never been asked that question. Um, cause I have a music studio and my life is kind of like, yeah, like right now there's sessions going on. Somebody's editing a video over there. I got to figure out classes. Everything I do, I consider myself to be a professional, working professional. And like, I guess really said that I did, like, I'm going to take music serious
Yes.
was more last year. Where I said I'm gonna really go in with it, like the comments and the support that people been giving, and also I kind of think the music I make is alright. So I was like, you know what? And I haven't even really put out my like, how do I say it? I haven't even put out like the main songs I got. The songs I put out all have been like test songs and like I'm just gonna do this because of the impulse. Like I got mad music. I'm shooting a video today. Well, that's the goal. Shoot a video today. I got about 4 music videos lined up, almost done. So I'm working on blogs right now. I'm trying to like shoot like a blog a day. Just nonstop push, step up the media, step up the content,
Yes.
step up my professionalism. So when you ask about being a professional, to me, this being a professional is being professional, and so
Yes.
that's just what it comes. So my team, we're stepping it up, and like that's what we're about right now, trying to just do what we do it better, and do it larger.
Yeah.
So but you got to do it right first, and to do it
Indeed.
right, you got to be
Indeed.
professional.
But listen, that's one thing that black, also as original people, black folk, whatever you want to call, label us every couple of years. That's one thing that we really need to take seriously. You know, I mean, having pride in what we're doing and being professional, not just to other nations, but to people who look like you. Provide the same level of service, yeah, the same value, just I mean, the same. Everything needs to be on that same level, no matter who you are. If you're providing a service, if you're selling a product, everything needs to be on point.
Yeah, this year I'm stepping my game up, and like I have nothing but black clients. Like I'm so proud to say that, nothing but black clients. And so like I really am like focused on stepping up everything. Like I want I want the bathroom experience to be good. Every part of it, like Ziax, like no, I love Ziax. Like anytime I go there or I'm involved in it, everything just makes me feel happy about being pro-black and being a part of something that's a bigger picture. Like that's That's it's all about motivation. Is that everything's motivation? Step the game up. Keep it simple,
Yes.
but step the game up. Step the game up. We can all get to it. And we can all get to the next level. Like that's and
I
that's
like that mentality. I like that mentality because unfortunately, as you don't know, there's a lot of people that you have to be selfish to a point, you know, in regards to self-preservation. But it needs to have that balance. I always say balance because you need to have one and the other. So being selfish and just being selfless, you know what I mean, providing, doing for others, and them kind of things there. And that creates the ripple effect. Well, Q's doing that, and he hasn't, you know what I mean. What's in it for him? But yo, he's doing this. He's helping me to do this, and okay, I'm feeling this thing. All right, so when I'm in a position, I need to provide an opportunity to somebody else or give someone, you know what I mean, something. Whereas before, everyone on this, no, I've got to look at myself, fuck everybody else, you know what I mean? It's all about that rather than big picture. If we can help each other, as you say, we can all get there, right?
Yep, I am completely with you, bro. It's a challenge. It's a challenge, and not just in the community, just in regular life, just working with people, trying to get people that need to be independent, need to have their own footing and representation within their own self, but at the same time have that be within a collective and have everybody understand that the collective is what's most important, but the collective is based off of everybody who's actually strong within themselves.
Yes.
So and for me in mathematics, it's easy to understand like the equation only works if all of the variables are involved. So there's no part of the equation that's more important than the other part. Even if it seems like a very small number, a number one is very important. You change any equation with the number one, you change the entire equation.
Facts. So how did you find your purpose, sibling?
Say again.
How did you find your purpose?
My parents.
Foundation shit, then, right?
Not that they told me to be pro black. I mean, my pops is very different, and my mom's is like has a very big heart. So you mix like I don't know what my pops was. He was like an Israelite atheist, 5%er, not 5%er. I don't want to say coon, but the 80s and 70s was hard on black people. So there was a lot of weird stuff going on, a lot of information, a lot of esoteric, a lot of fact information, a lot of stuff coming out for the first time. So, and in New York and Chicago, Detroit, certain cities where some of this information was first, hitting the waves, a lot of the people that was around the community had, an opportunity to be influenced or to be privy to the information, to be influenced. And, my pops was one of those people. My mom's just straight Catholic, so she's just about helping people be nice. And she had to deal with, her own journey with that. And her and I, journey in it, her journey with me becoming an atheist. My family saw that as a slap in the face. I got into a lot of trouble as young, and we attributed my overcoming of that trouble to God and to religion and stuff. And so when I was like, nah, like we got it wrong. Like what beat that case was you and me having parents who fought. There was no God that came down. It was, and not just that fact that fighting isn't good enough. Getting a lawyer isn't good enough. Getting a lawyer and a private investigator is not good enough. Coming to court every day isn't good enough. And my parents never stopped fighting until what was good enough was done to get my freedom. And so that's what beat my case. And that's what taught me about fighting anything. Like you don't give up until you're dead. And even dead isn't good enough in most cases.
So touching on the atheism, just to get clarification for myself. So there is no supreme force or something power that created what we can physically see manifested. Is
Neither do
or
you
are
ask
you?
me.
So this is all like Big Bang type thing.
I don't adhere to the Big Bang. I'm not a fan of the Big
Hmm.
Bang theory. Um, I think the universe is really, really, really large, as a fact. And
Yeah.
we're nowhere near the understanding of the bottom of the ocean of Earth,
Hmm.
the intricate aspects of our mind, why we fully sleep, you know, why there are children who are evil, why do we have, psychopaths, why white people do the stuff white people do. So if we're nowhere near those pieces of those little questions, trying to say we understand what created the universe is something we need to pursue. But respectfully, we don't fucking know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Says that you already know the thing. Everything you just said there is facts, and here's the big juicy but. We have to at some point, with the nature of being quote unquote Homo sapiens sapiens, human beings, we have these questions like, how did we get here? You know what I mean? So it's either going to be there's a force or there's something that made it happen. You know what I mean? A singular powerful source that did that there, or it's random chances of cells coming together and whatever.
The
I
question is too big. To understand your question, you would have to see the entire picture.
mm,
You know what I mean? Like literally, that's just that. Like you got to see the whole picture. It's impossible. We can only see the observable universe. That's not a lot.
I think it's minuscule, sibling, in regards to the light that we can see through powerful telescopes and all that. Listen, I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah, so I'm not one of those atheists that like, try to like shove science down people's, throat. It just is what it is. Like if you want to believe in whatever the hell you want to believe, that makes you a good person. Go right the hell ahead. Cool. Sleep well at night.
For sure. Application, just like I use this example frequently. A knife and fork which you eat food with can be the same thing that you can defend your life or take a life with. So it's all about how you apply the said tool and the application.
That's a fact. Religion did
So
wonders for me. I wouldn't be who I am without religion. So,
for
I
sure.
couldn't tell somebody else not to get where they might be in life without religion, So, I just, I speak from where I'm at in life now, what I mean? Because I see where other people may be at, or maybe where they, possibly could be at if they were more open to certain information, and that's just the reality of, information. Either people are going to be open to it or you're going to continue to use a flip phone.
Yes, indeed.
You
it,
know?
it it all happens in stages and times. Everything has its season. Everything has its reason. Um, it's I would say currently. I mean, there's a I would say a large percentage of the populi who are starting to, I would say, stir with my analogy. They're starting to stir and maybe question some very basic things which have been held to be quote unquote facts, which is a good thing. Um, I would say. And also with with the zombie apocalypse, there's a lot of people who are starting to question some very basic things which have been held to be quote unquote facts, which is a good thing. I would say. And also with the zombie apocalypse, the different that they've been putting on the media and stuff, and the injustice which happened to original men and women over in the wilderness in North America has forced some people who didn't necessarily see these injustices. They've been confronted with it. They've been stuck in their house and they've seen it all on the television. They've seen these riots and all this crazy stuff happening. And
Hello? Yo, hello? I can't hear you. Hello?
they're now saying like, what?
Hey, sorry, y'all. We having some technical difficulties. He'll be right back in a second. So when he comes back, he'll chop up and we'll continue to build.
A 1,000 apologies.
I'll figure it out.
It's fine. I'm telling you.
I really appreciate
Man.
it.
Okay, where was I at? Where was I at, sibling?
I don't know. You cut out for a while, so it went blank for a minute from on my end.
Oh shit. Okay.
It was like you were saying, like a lot of people are starting to
Oh, the awakening and stuff. That was it. Yes. So I think it's a good thing that people are waking up, and people be forced to see the mistreatment of black folk, male and female, by the police. And I think a lot of people are asking those questions now, being in a very small percentile of the makeup of America. Why does this seem to be happening so frequently? Why are police so gun ho and take its life over very little things? So I think there's definitely a shift taking place in regards to the quote unquote consciousness of all peoples. It's just a little bit slower than I would have thought. And then you've had Antifa and all those crazy people hijacking peaceful protests and rallies and stuff and destroying properties, burning down and looting local stores in potentially lower class areas and stuff. It's a very strange and wonderful time, I think, that we're living right now, Sibling.
you hear it.
Yeah, you're back here.
Hello.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Hello.
Please. Yeah.